It's your 50th anniversary. Congratulations.
Yeah. We've been doing this longer than any of you have been alive.
I'm almost there. But did you, I mean, I know we dream big as like artists in general, but like you don't?
Not really.
Damn.
Teller and I are, I think, the only people in show business who are more successful than we planned. We were very happy being carny trash and working streets, busking, and Renaissance festivals and corporate shows. We were wicked happy doing that. And we were not aiming for Broadway. We were not aiming for our own theater in Vegas. We were just doing stupid stuff.
But maybe that's the point, though. You're supposed to be aiming for the love of what you do, and then.
Well, I think so. We always cared more about the show than the venue.
Yeah. Well, that's why the success came. Because you focused on what was important, I feel. But what pushes you to keep going? What keeps inspiring you?
Well, it's all we ever wanted to do. You know, I mean, it's so weird to me. We know so many people in Vegas who have worked hard to get where they are and do very, very good shows, and then during the day play golf. Whereas all I ever wanted to do was just think up this weird and have people see it. And so if I were to retire now, which it's about time, what I would want to do during the day is exactly what I do during the day.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So my hobby is what we do. It's all we've ever done. It's all we've ever wanted to do. We think up this stuff and we do it.
Yeah. Well,
sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
That's all of us, sir. Yes. Feel free to interject any time here. You feel the same.
I'm waiting patiently.
Yes, waiting. Don't hold your breath. Was there a moment that you felt you'd made it? Like, was there something that happened in your career where you were like, oh my?
Everybody wants us to say, you know, the first run on Broadway or even the first run off Broadway or Vegas, but it's really not true. You know, Teller's dad was a commercial artist. My dad was a jail guard. And when we first made enough money to like support ourselves doing exactly what we wanted, which by the way was like the first week. We were thrilled to pieces. I mean, we didn't even really say we need a lot more money or anything. We just were happy to do our show. You know, when we were working street performing, we were doing fine with money. You know, we had no problems with that. So we were playing San Francisco with a show we had early on called the Asparagus Valley Cultural Society. And we had these pins because of Apocalypse Now that said asparagus now. And I never expected to be recognized. And this child, about 12 years old, came up with his mother and said, "You're Penn from that show. You know, can I have an autograph?" And I never thought of signing an autograph before. So he had a piece of paper, and I just took the pin that said Asparagus Now off my leather jacket, and I rammed it into my finger, and I signed my name in blood.
So that kid's in therapy.
No, not therapy.
I'm just kidding.
He met the hippest person he would ever meet his whole life.
Oh my God, that's what happened that day.
Yeah.
So wait, is he being pretty accurate so far? Did you want to add anything? You're good, or A-okay? Yeah, got the best part of this show. I love that. So when did Teller when did Teller not speaking come into the act?
That actually predates me. When Teller was a high school Latin teacher in Trenton, New Jersey, which is one level of...
A Latin teacher?
Dante's hell, And he worked himself through college doing magic at frat parties, which is even a closer layer of Dante's hell. And working for drunken hecklers, he found that doing really creepy stuff and being quiet, they grew bored with heckling him. And I was working, you know, rock and roll places on the streets, so I was louder and more aggressive. We first worked together the very first time. We were two separate acts on the same bill, and we had to maintain the integrity. So anything that's good about Teller's idea of staying silent, I had nothing to do with. That was all just Teller. And there's all sorts of interesting stuff with that because most acts that work double kind of talk to each other, but we essentially do a one-person show with two people. We always face out toward the audience.
He's sad. Boop, boop, boop.
Very, very sexy.
What's the dynamic? I got you. What's the dynamic like off stage?
Well, Teller is essentially the director of the show and essentially the brains of the outfit.
The director not talking.
So when we're not working, Teller talks much more than I do. I'm usually over in the corner reading. Yeah. And
you're quiet off stage?
Well, you know, not all the time, but when we're working.
hard no.
Also, ask me my height.
So is it 6'7"?
About 6'7".
You bragger. My God, you can reach everything.
Maybe we'll leave it at that.
So what's your favorite part about playing Vegas?
It's odd. My favorite part is that we actually get to rehearse in the theater. You know, you can't do that on Broadway. You can't do that anywhere. We work on new bits right in the theater. You know, it's the Penn Teller.
They don't rehearse in the theater on Broadway?
No, not when you're working on new stuff.
Oh, okay,
You
okay.
can't write new stuff.
Okay.
So it's, you know, you're usually in a rehearsal space. When we're
Yeah,
Broadway and
we
stuff.
do that too before.
Yeah. But with the Penn Teller Theater, we sit on stage to write new stuff. It's fabulous. And we've been there, you know, forever.
Yeah.
And we've signed up for another 4 years with a condition.
Okay.
With a condition. And that condition is Teller has a gambling problem.
Yeah.
And we work in Vegas, and that's a problem. And he has the worst gambling problem you can have as a professional Vegas entertainer, which is he always wins.
Oh.
Always. And the Rio is sick of him going in and winning everything. So they said we could do another 4 years if we could prove that Teller could lose. And since you have hundreds of people watching, we thought if we proved it,
10.
if we proved it here, we would get our next 4 years. So all you got to do is beat Teller at one hand of poker, and then we'll get another 4 years. So no, Tell, you're not going to be using those cards. He's ready to cheat already. I'm guessing, I don't know, but I'm guessing there's 2 aces on top and there's 2 aces on the bottom. He's ready to bottom deal. Also, these cards, I think, are marked.
I do not respect it.
You know how to tell if the cards are marked?
No.
It's a thing called going to the movies. The cards, they're supposed to be the same on the back. If you flip them like this, they wouldn't move. See all those things moving around there?
Yeah.
That means this is a marked deck. Let me show you if I can get a shot. You can see the cards. See how things bounce around on the back?
Is that a real thing?
All you got to do is do that, and you can tell if cards are marked. So we're not using a marked deck.
Cheater!
We're not using a deck. We're not using a deck that you can palm. We will use these cards. I don't think you can palm these. Let me see your hand, Teller. Can you palm that? I don't think Teller can palm that. And normally he would like deal off the bottom or something. So we're just going to use 2 poker hands, 5. We're just going to use 10 cards. Deal the top 10 off there, right? Just deal there.
Okay, just
1,
10.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Is that 10?
I think so. Is that 10?
Well, you were kind of counting with me.
I know, I was counting with you, and then I lost it because I did the 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Did I count them? 3, 4, 5. This is part of the trick. 6, 7. That use natural. 8, 9, 10. And let's get these away from them. Let's get these away from them. All you got to do is win this hand count. So you're just going to deal these out, and we'll see if you can win. Now, Teller, if you deal them, Teller, you could cheat easily. So you just decide, these are the hold cards. Which one do you want to be Teller's? Which one do you want to be yours?
These are mine.
That's yours? You sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so that goes down. Now you're going to pick another one for you, okay? So think about these cards. Which one of these would you like for your pile?
That one.
Are you sure? You can change your mind. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, that's yours. Okay, now we're going to do another one for your pile.
Another one.
For your pile. And you can pick either one of them.
Okay. Oh, that one.
Oh, are you sure?
Damn straight.
Okay, fold it over there. Now you pick 2 for
Okay.
Teller, so pick the stinky ones.
Okay.
The ones that are Limburgers, the horrible one. Pick a bad card for him. Which is the bad card here? It's your choice. Bad card for Teller.
Bad card for
Bad card.
I'm picking that
That
one.
sucks.
That
Give
sucks.
that to Teller.
Okay.
And then you're going to pick another bad one for
Okay.
Teller.
Okay.
Another bad one for Teller. And this should really stink. A bad one for Teller.
Okay, a bad one. Like you don't got any bad, like any, okay, I'm gonna say this one.
That one for Teller?
Yeah,
That's the bad one?
Yeah,
Okay, you're
yeah.
making every choice here.
Yeah.
Now we'll pick one more for you.
Okay.
So you're picking a good one now. Don't
Okay.
think bad. Vibe it out for a good one.
I'm vibing. I'm vibing.
Which one?
Okay, right here.
Okay, pull that
okay.
over there. And now,
I was
pick
like,
one
what?
more stinker for Teller.
Stinker.
Stinker.
You're taking this piece of
Okay, right there. Now, I'm going to do something. You've got to win.
Okay.
You're going to do something you'd never do. You could never do this in a casino. You're going to do them face up. So let's see what you got here.
Okay.
Oh, you got a good hand. You got aces.
Oh, I got 2 pairs.
You
2
get-
pairs.
Look at that. You got a
2 pairs.
pair of aces, and you got 2 cards left there, Teller.
Yeah.
You can pick whichever one of these cards you want. You want
I would like this
Oh,
one.
the ace. So now
Yes,
you have got a full house.
Yeah, full house.
You've got aces full of 9s.
Yeah.
Look at that. So you've
Yeah,
done
yeah.
it. We've got another 4 years.
Yeah.
That is no problem. Aces full of nines. You have beat Teller with no problem. What do you got, Teller?
Uh-oh.
You made every decision.
I know, I did.
Oh,
you shut your mouth! You shut your mouth! How did you do that?
He's got a straight flush with King High. So we'll see you next year. We'll see you next year at the David Copperfield Theater. We'll be playing, I guess, the David Copperfield Theater.
Oh, that's awesome. Penn and Teller, everybody. New episodes of Penn and Teller Fool Us air every Friday on the CW Network. You can also catch the show Penn and Teller at the Rio Las Vegas or on their 50th anniversary tour. Go online for more information.